Stick around to the end of the video if you want to see what the little engine looks like after it's been painted. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this video. So it's sanded down. I bought some grape primer. Still got a bit of light outside, so let's go and see if we can get the first coat on before it's dark. But right before we do that, if you enjoy this video then please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel or for whatever reason you haven't already, then please consider subscribing. And while you're there, if you turn the notification bell on, you will be notified every time I upload. Right, well you have to excuse the fact that we're in a dodgy part of the garden, but here we go. So I've decided I'm going to leave the cab original, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to sand it. May take a few coats, like. Got my fingers on it. Yeah. This is my makeshift spray booth from now on. Right, so we'll let this dry and then we'll put another coat on. Coat number 2. There we are, it's coat number 2. Hopefully I'll get another one on before it gets dark. As you can most likely tell now, it's nearly dark, so it's about time we put the final coat of grape primer on now. Oh, it's a bit windy now. Should we get the sides properly? Bought one wicked dodgy cap. I should do now. So in the morning we'll get the BR green livery on it, which was voted by you guys. So I'll see you in the morning. So just before I see you in the morning, I've brought it inside because obviously it's warm and dry in here. Outside it's cold and damp, and if it rains it will be ruined. So I think it's alright. Have a look at the roof. You see it's nice and even, all the paint. The reason why I've masked off the cab is because I've decided I'm going to leave the paint original in there. In fact, if we look at, sorry for my big hands in the shot, I've left the red paint which I put on the inside of the cab roof, I've left that on. So the paint that I've gone with is this here. As you can see, it's not quite BR green if we look against the A4, but it's near enough. So I'll be spraying that in the morning. So I'll leave the paint to dry overnight. It's nice and dry. See, the last person who re-painted it and made such an arse of it, they just used like paint out of the tin with a brush. So like, if we have a look at that there, and that little zero on the side, that was literally full with paint. It was almost level. Same with the running boards on each side and the logo on the front. And yet I've still not found any info or anything on these logos, because I can't really find a MC or a CM brand of clockwork trains. So if anyone knows what I should search for this, please do let me know. So then, let's stop watching the paint dry, and I'll see you in the morning when we will spray it with this. So then, new day, new paint. This is the dark green one this time. So then, I did the buffer beam last night, so that's why it's got tape on it, so let's get started. Hopefully that dries a bit darker, otherwise I'm a bit screwed. It's a bit windy today, like, and there goes the cat. Tilly, what are you doing? Might be a bit light, but never mind. Right, well, I'll leave that coat to dry for about 10 minutes, and then we'll get back and put another one on. So I think I bought the wrong paint, because this is more like apple green than anything else, and it is quite windy. Let's put coat number 2 on. It's a bit windy for this stuff, but you know. It's quite windy actually. I probably shouldn't be doing this in the wind, but you know. So now the ground and the wall back there now has a hint of grey and green. Make sure that I get this side the chimney too, because I missed it the last time. I got it? I think I did. So then we'll let this coat dry. Turn the can upside down and get rid of any paint left in the nozzle. Right, we'll let this coat dry. time for the final coat before I mask off the boiler, so that I can make the smoke box black. So the paint is dry, but it has this nice shine, so I won't need a varnish it, which is very good. So then let's put the final coat on. I got a bit of a run there, never mind. So now I've got to wait 24 hours, and then I can mask off the smoke box, or the boiler, and the cab, and that into the running boards and and this smoke box black. I can also do the cab roof, because that's still grey. So then let's let this paint dry, and then we'll do the smoke box. So then folks, it's now day 3 of painting the loco. Now you may have noticed that the whole boiler is black and rather lumpy. Don't worry, that is just masking tape. So I painted the running boards, the smoke box, and this front part down here black. I did it very early this morning. So basically there was no light outside. So in this video we're going to be, sit the roof over there, paint on that is still wet, and I just put my finger on the tape that is making sure that the red paint on the inside of the cab roof stays red. So anyway, we need to remove the masking tape and hope that this is all green. So without further ado, I'm going to have to use my knife for this. So I think what I'm going to do, actually yeah, that's what I'm going to do beforehand. I'm going to mask off, nah, that'll be alright. I'm going to mask off the buffer beam. I'm going to get a little bit there that I missed. I think that's what I have to do. Do I do that? No, I'll just do it with the brush later on. So anyway, just basically very carefully lifting the base of the tape up. Trying not to remove any of the paint underneath. Just a little bit more. Also, the sharp edge of the knife is up and the blunt side is down. That's so that I don't scratch any of the very nice looking green boiler paint. Right, now I should be able to pick this off, he says. I'm going to be very careful not to remove any of the very nicely applied green paint, because that would be a hell of a disaster. It's no green paint. So all is good there. I can easily get rid of that bit of black, but there'll be gold lining around the borders. It's alright. I think that looks alright. There is a little bit of sticky residue, but I'll be able to get that off with some form of nail polish remover. Pull the next lot of tape off. This time I'll get it actually on camera. Get out of the cotton bud later. There we are. So ignore the fact that there's sticky marks on it. I can get off with cotton bud later on. Final bit. This one, I had the tape going over this rim slightly to hope for the best when I take this off. As you can see, it was firmly stuck down. Wow! That now looks like a real steam engine. Apart from those bits under there, I'll get them out later on. But if we look at it from like this angle, that looks fantastic. So it's not quite BR green, which is what I hoped. That is because I'm an idiot and I picked up the wrong paint. Well, I didn't get the wrong paint. How is it? If we look at the thingy that's on the cap, goes the paint can. It's not. I thought that would be a lot darker. Now even on camera, that looks slightly darker. So now I need to get some cotton buds and remove any slight imperfections like under here. Actually, it's not too many. Get it off the side here. And get all the sticky stuff off the side of the boiler. So I'll go do that and then I'll get back to you once it's done. Right, found some nail polish remover and some cotton buds, which are now absolutely everywhere. So basically I did a little bit of a test on that bit down there where I don't really need it. It doesn't make it go black, it's just where the black paint's gotten on. So this is most likely the part of the video where I'm going to pass out. I've inhaled spray paint fumes and now I'm going to inhale nail polish remover fumes. It's quite strong actually. So I'm hoping it won't remove the paint. Just going to go over and remove sticky mess that's on it. Should probably go get something to wipe all the sticky stuff off with. Oh no, it's alright, found something. Found a bit of spare loo roll off where I've been painting in the past. So it does work, but it will take quite some time to do. I think it would be best to basically go getting it off with like this. No, I'm taking the paint off there. I can't do that, I have to do it with the alcohol. So basically if I do this over time, I should be able to remove all of the gunk that has appeared on it. So then, I'll get on with this. I'll get back once I've gotten all of the ridiculous sticky gunk off. So I'll speak to you soon. So then, I tried with the nail polish remover. That didn't work. So I then took it a step further and tried white spirit, which is basically a paint remover. And I thought if I'm quick and if I get a little bit of bog roll and rub it off, it should remove the sticky stuff. Unfortunately, if I bring it up to the camera, obviously you can't tell as well as I can, but even though this has all the sticky stuff on, that now has a matte finish, and that still has a sort of gloss finish, even with all that sticky stuff still on. So what the white spirit had done is basically removed the glossy finish, but it now looks like a steam engine. When I first got it, I honestly thought it was painted entirely black, but if we look on the bottom and if you look carefully inside, you can see it was dark green when it was repainted. Now I was hoping to get BR green, but of course it's not quite BR green, it's more like apple green, but it still looks much better than it did before. So things I need to finish, there's a little bit of a paint bleeding along there. You can see that should be green all the way up, but it's not, so it'll have to be removed or painted over, but that's easy done. Buffers still need to be painted silver, but the buffer beam is in that lovely bright red. Does look gorgeous, doesn't it? I still got to put the cab roof on. I did the cab floor a bit messy, but that's alright, because the inside of the cab will be going back into red at some point in the next few days. I also need to paint the controls back onto what looks to be a regulator handle and a gauge up there, but that's the only, and a firebox door, that's the only detail that is on the cab. So anyway, I'm just going to reach below the desk and grab the very nice golden dome. I won't screw it all the way in because it needs to come back off, because I need to put a coat of clear coat varnish on. In fact, because there's paint in there, it's made the hole ever slightly smaller. So I'll just basically cut the threads back in. And I'll wind it back out. And then it should right. So put the dome back on. Therefore, looks shit. Right, I'll have to put the arm in the shot then, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll not screw it all the way in. But that now looks so much better with its dome back on. Now the cab roof, I've just put the final coat of black on. Still tacky, and I've just put fingerprint in it. Excellent. But if I put that on, I'll remove the tape obviously. Now if I turn this around, that did look like a complete steam engine. Oh no, it's bits in it. me paint. Thank you. Attempt number 2. So this now looks like a proper steam loco. Well, you can see I'm covered in paint again, as usual. And there's a hair on my cab roof. Get off the paint! Right, put that over there to dry. So I'll put a coat of clear coat on, which will hopefully bring back the glossy finish. You can still see it on the cab quite nicely, but on the boiler it's been removed because of the masking tape. So yeah, I think this went very well. I'll now do a before and after shot of the body. So let's go and have a look at that now. Well then, this here is the locomotive before restoration, and as you can tell, its paint has seen better days. So then, this is the loco after the paint's been done. So then, you may observe that it's now quite shiny. That's because I've gone and put about 5 to 10 coats of clear coat varnish on. Now I'm not going to touch the loco anymore for about 3 hours until it's fully dry, because at the moment it's still, actually, set the cab off so I can dry properly. Because otherwise, basically at the moment the very top of the varnish is dry, but underneath it's still sort of like a jelly. So after I put coat 1 on, I thought it was dry. I went to poke it to see if it was, and I moved my finger and it basically dragged all the varnish along like a skin on a custard. Now, if you've ever had to deal with a skin on a custard, you'll know what it's like. It's like a rubber layer on the top. Basically, well, I'll show you the damage. Try not to remove any more of it. There you can see there's a little bit of it, and on the top where that sort of circle is, I'll be able to sort them out. But bit of advice, if you're doing varnish, leave it to dry before you go and poke it. So then, in the next clip, it should be fully assembled. No, in the next clip, we will be assembling it so it's fully assembled. So I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to come back in about an hour's time once the varnish is hardened, and we'll get on with rebuilding it. So I'll speak to you then. Alright then, so here is the locomotive reassembled. Now you may notice some splodges of black and grey on the boiler. The black, I can remove that with a bit of scrubbing. That's just a mark off where it was lent on its side. Now the grey, so I put the green paint on, that was left for a full day to dry, and it was masked off, and added the black. I took the masking tape off, and then I put clear coat varnish on. Now it said on the tin it was fine with metal, so I thought, oh great, I can use that. No, it reacted with the paint and it lifted it off. So that is underneath the varnish where I can't get to. So there's basically no way I'll be able to sort it out unless I paint over the top, which I can do. So after a whole week of painting, it's finally done. So that's why there's not been a video in the past few days. And I've still got to put the gold lining on sort of the boiler seams almost. I think that's what they are. And around the cab, that's why there's a few red blobs there. only black paint that's managed to run off the running board and onto the side. Even though the side had tape on, it still ran down, but that's alright, as there'll be a gold line along there, so that should hide that. So yeah, and I also need to find a way to fix the cab roof on, because that's still loose, and I need to use a lathe and make a whistle piece. So it's getting there. I've done the paint, I just need to make a few little bits, and then we can start getting the clockwork to wind up and run by itself, because I've explained in past live streams that the bit that actually winds up has snapped, so you can't wind it up anymore. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed seeing the locomotive getting painted. If you did, then please like the video, and if you're new to the channel, or for whatever reason you haven't already, then please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So then, was it worth it? Yes. It now looks like a steam engine, instead of looking like it's been dipped in a big bucket of dark green paint. So I'm quite happy with it. Ignore the meowing cat in the background. It's not my cat, don't know whose cat it is, but it's big and it's fat and it's ginger, and it keeps coming and meowing in my garden, but you know. Anyway, so I think it was worth it. It looks fantastic, so hopefully you enjoyed. Now I know a lot of people will say, why are you repainting the engine? It takes away from the loco's character. Well, if I have to be honest, the person who owned it before me repainted it and did such a shoddy job, and I thought, I can't stand it any longer, I'm going to repaint it and make it look nice. So thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you in the next video.